Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Delora, happy 2026 officially.
Happy 2026. I'm so excited. 2025 was something.
It's in the books.
It is in the books. Thank God we made it. We made it.
Blessed and highly favored, as the Blacks like to say.
Growth, resilience. I heard that quite a bit in 2025. Resilience. Welcome back, Recap Nation. Thank you guys for joining us for our first new episode into the new year. Thanks for hanging with us for a couple of replays. Yes.
There's some germs going around, so things happen, but we're back and better than ever.
We are. I mean, so many people had the plague. It's to the point where I was like, the CDC ain't doing his job anymore.
That's for damn sure. Maybe we need to be thankful it's just flu and some colds and stuff, because who knows?
But everyone kept saying the same thing, the throat. And I'm like, what was it about the throat? Anyway.
Well, that is usually my first symptom, even though I don't have tonsils. I got my tonsils removed when I was early 20s. That's still once I start feeling anything like some type of something, I'm like, all right, whatever this is about to come upon me. But I know last year's flu strain was even something, because I remember when I got it, I had digestive issues as a part of it. It's never fun. But I say this year's is a super bug, because even the elders are getting it. And when the elders who played in dirt and have super immune systems be getting stuff, I say, oh, this is when it's the super bugs. But again, we're back.
We are.
Hope y'all are feeling okay. Wash your hands.
Yes. And did you have a good birthday?
I had a great birthday. I went to the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
We were there for my birthday and for Christmas. For any listeners who have not been with us for a while, my birthday is 2 days before Jesus's. Yes. And so usually it's a scramble to try to get back for Christmas. And if anyone's joining, they get back. And this year I just said, forget it. So I was gone. It was an unconventional Christmas being in the DR, but the people at the resort were lovely. They incorporated some. They were like Santa hats. They had up trees at the different resorts, the where you first check in that building. So, they did their thing, and it was nice to be in warm weather and, all you can eat. I overdid it. I made myself sick for a couple days because I just went a little crazy. I think
this was your first time at the DR, right?
This is my first time leaving the country. I think whenever I go to all-inclusive out of the country, I just go crazy because the food just doesn't sit on your stomach the way that it does here in America. So I'm always like, I can eat just a little bit more.
This is real food there and not overly processed.
Food. We did an excursion and we went to a restaurant in the mountains of the Dominican Republic, and we was definitely eating somebody's cousin because all the little chickens was running around us and stuff. And
so
I was like,
very gamey chicken.
I'm so sorry. I know this is your brother, sister, cousin that we over here eating on, but it's delicious. So,
but
and
you
also,
talk about free range.
Yeah, they was living. They got a chance to live at least. Not like whatever they doing over here in America. And the last thing I was just going to mention is I have never been to a country yet where I'm encountered by all these brown and black people and they just speak in Spanish. And I loved that. I was like, because to see us immersed in this other cultural experience like this, it's just black people, but then they coming at me with Espanol. I'm like,
yeah.
I love y'all. Hello,
I
Dominicans.
love that. Yeah.
That was
Very
a good
nice.
time. How were
So
your
no
holidays?
bae? You didn't pick up a bae?
Well, you know what's funny, and I mentioned this to my mom, and we both agreed is whatever rank you have to be to get into the police force in the Dominican Republic, they all fine as hell. Like police officers, because our excursion, we went out into the streets. So the police officers were like around some of the places we went. And when I tell you every single one of them was fine, like not cute, fine. I was like, what do you have to, is this a prerequisite to be in the force here? Because, and state that in the US as well. Maybe things will go a little smoother if everybody's out here trying to be cute. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny. That's hilarious.
They were fine.
Hilarious. Oh, well, I love that. Well, happy birthday again. And
thank you. This is one of my mini mugs. Delora and I collect mugs. This is one of my mini mugs now added to my collection.
Love that color, by the way.
Girl, and they had it in yellow, and then I was getting the yellow, and then I saw the red. I said, oh no, I gotta get the red.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. My story while we were gone, I was minding my business, drinking my water. Okay. My daughter and I were doing some last minute New Year's Eve shopping at this specialty grocery store that we love going to. Shout out to Dorothy Lane Market. It's very regional. I get my faves.
I didn't know you were at DLM. This whole time I'm thinking you was at Kroger.
No, I was at Dorothy Lane Market.
Shout out to DLM.
Yes, I get my favorites. I love their organic sourdough. I get this French butter from there. Their chocolate milk is divine. Like, I have my list of goodies, and we were getting our goodies for New Year's Eve because we were staying up and everything like that. So me and my baby girl, we're just in the bakery section because you always you gotta glaze over everything, right? You know what I mean? Like, do I feel like all butter cookies today or not? Like, you know what I mean? I see this white woman across from me. She's in this beanie, super cute, like blonde, dirty blonde hair. And I was like, Emily Henry? She looks up. I was like, y'all know I'm a bookish girly. Y'all know I love good romance. Emily Henry is one of my favorite romance authors because her humor is actually funny and she actually has good plots and love, connections. And it was so funny, Ashley, because I was like, first of all, I was stunned, right? Because I've never seen this woman in my life, like in person. I've only, I follow her online because whenever her books come out, I read them, right? My favorite books are Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation. Funny Story are like my top 3 of her novels. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a fan. It's so wonderful to meet you. I was like, I introduced my daughter. I'm like, Mara, this is New York best. She was like, I'm a writer. Like, it was so funny. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was like, congratulations on your film that's coming out next week. I can't wait for it. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, I hope you get the same love as Heated Rivalry. And she was like, oh, but it's not that spicy. I'm like, the fact that she went for the spice had me cackling. I'm like, girl, I'm just talking about the love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the excitement of
they ain't
word.
Fucking like they
ain't fucking like these dudes are.
Okay.
And then her friend rolls up and she's like, oh, she saw it. She's like, it didn't match the tone. They were really big on the tone of the movie, but I thought they did great. Her friend was like, yeah, it was great. I was like, here I am having a whole bookish conversation with the Emily Henry. Like, I know she's from like this area, North Kentucky area. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So I did not get a picture with her because one, I was like, yo, this lady's grocery shopping.
Leave her be, huh?
With her. And then Ashley's like, did you tell her you had a podcast? I'm like, I did not. Again, again, grocery shopping. We were in the bakery section. I mean, I don't know.
We got to get more cards because Delora could have absolutely slipped it in on the low. Like, hey, it was so nice to meet you. I'll be talking about you on the podcast. Please take a list. And you know what I mean? You know how to finesse. Can't miss these shots. Can't miss these shots.
We can't. But she has been booked and busy because People We Meet on Vacation came out on the 9th. And she's been everywhere. So congratulations again to her. And I was like, what a way to end 2025 on a high note.
Yeah. I saw your post and I was like, what are the chances that you would run into her at, again, I'm thinking Kroger. I'm like, what are the chances you just run into her in Kroger? But a lot of people are home for the holidays and she is from Cincy. So that's very, very exciting. And I was excited for you. Just next time we got to get these cards so you can also.
I know. Emily, I'm joking, but you're not more than welcome to come on our podcast, friend of the pod.
Please.
We had one conversation, friend of the pod. You know, look forward to your other adaptations because Sis is booked and busy. Happy Place just got picked up to be in that adaptation. I don't know if it's a show or a movie. Book Lovers is coming. And Beach Read. So she's fine. like there's more projects and I look forward to them.
Absolutely. Because we've had an author. What's up, Kristen? But it would be nice to have an author who wrote the book come talk about the recap with us. Like that's a vision board item right there.
Absolutely.
So
miracles happen every day. So we're going to put that on the board.
Miracles and blessings, ladies. Miracles and blessings. I don't know if y'all remember that from the Brothers. One of my favorite lines from that movie. All right. Well, new listeners, old listeners, it is our Thursday episode, which means we're about to get into these pop culture streets. There's been plenty going on in these couple weeks we've been away. So we're going to get into some a little older. We're going to get into some fresh. Let's start with these lawsuits, Delora, that have been coming up against some Black men in Hollywood since we've been away. We got to start with gospel singer, Grammy winner, Donnie McClurkin. This came out last week. He's been sued by a man who claims the founder and senior pastor of Perfecting Faith Church assaulted him for years. Giuseppe Corletto alleges McClurkin was initially a mentor figure to him, but eventually started assaulting him in a years-long pattern. This was filed January 2nd in New York County Supreme Court. I am reading this from USA Today. Corletto was 21 years old when he first met McClurkin at his Long Island church in 2003. During their meeting, Corletto says the pastor assured him that McClurkin would deliver him from homosexuality. Later, as his personal assistant, Corletto and the pastor held Pray the Gay Away spiritual sessions, in which McClurkin allegedly groped his genitals without consent. He claims McClurkin coerced him into further unwanted sexual acts from 2007 to as recently as 2015. Despite him confiding in the church's staff about the abuse, no action was taken. The article goes on to mention that he attempted to quit on multiple occasions but was denied, that he felt like his deliverance and purpose were tied to the pastor. McClurkin has responded in a lengthy social media statement. He said that the allegations were profane as well as contrived and untrue. He said, I understand the weight of such false claims, especially in our community rooted in faith, trust, and the teachings of Jesus Christ. And sexual violence in any form is a real and painful reality for many and not to be used frivolously. True survivors deserve to be heard, protected, and supported. At the same time, the truth matters. This is, very upsetting, but also I think because of the feelings around homosexuality within religion and within church settings, it's always a little murky to me in terms of some of the stuff that goes on. We had the Catholic Church priests abuse scandal that rocked people several years back. And I mean, if these allegations are true, obviously it's devastating to hear that he abused his power in this way. Like, forget the career as a singer and all that stuff, just as a pastor and leader of a church, to use that power to manipulate, coerce, and sexually abuse is absolutely disgusting. What were your thoughts, Delora?
I just really hope it's not true. When you hear allegations like these, they come up so frequently now. Like after Cosby, I feel like no holds bar, you know what I mean? I hope it's not true. But if it is true, I hope Giuseppe gets justice. But I don't know. This is just really ugly, really ugly. Donnie McClurkin holds a special place in my heart. So that's why I'm just like, oh, don't let this be true.
Yeah. And I tend to, in most respects, believe and listen to victims, especially when it comes to sexual assault and sexual abuse. That's not an easy thing to step forward and discuss, particularly when it's rooted, again, in homosexuality and things that are already so taboo, right, especially within religious settings. So, yeah, I definitely hope it's not true, but we'll have to let this play out. I mean, I guess I should say, for the victim's sake, I hope that, whatever happened, he's able to move past it if this is true. You know what I mean? Like,
and find peace, because,
I mean that more than to say, oh, I hope it's not true. I mean to say, I hope that the victim in this case, if all is definitely laid out the way he said, is able to move forward with his life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess what I'm trying to allude to as well is like, we always say like, oh, I hope the justice system works out, but we know that that's a lie. Like there have been times where the justice system has not worked out. So everything that happens in the dark does come to light. So we'll find out one way or another.
Mm-hmm. Will Smith also got hit with a lawsuit while we were away. He was recently spotted in London. He's been working on a National Geographic series, Pole to Pole, and TMZ reporters attempted to ask him about the lawsuit that was filed against him, accusing him of wrongful termination, retaliation, and sexual harassment. He apparently laughed off the lawsuit, but it is brought by Brian King Joseph. This is sourced by article from Hot 97. Joseph was a violinist who says he was hired to join Will's Based on a True Story tour. And according to court documents, he claims his experience took a disturbing turn during a tour stop in Las Vegas. He said that when he returned to his hotel room one night, he found evidence that someone had entered without his permission. And he discovered a handwritten note that read, "Brian, I'll be back no later than 5:30, just us," and was signed Stone F. And according to Joseph, the message left him fearful that he could be targeted for unwanted sexual advances. He further claimed after reporting the incident to security, he was abruptly fired from the tour. Will Smith, through his attorney, forcefully denies the allegations, saying that they are categorically denied and that they will use all legal means available to address these claims and to ensure that the truth is brought to light.
Who's Stone F?
Not sure. It seems like he's claiming that it's, like a pseudonym, like some type of, because he also, and it's not in this particular article, but just from previous information I heard, claiming that Will told him that they had a special connection that he's never had with anybody else. And it just felt like he was being groomed in a sense. So,
what's so fascinating is I cannot find that story anywhere. Like if you Google Will Smith and go to like news, even if you go to all, you do not see this lawsuit anywhere. His team is working.
Yeah. People been busy. Where was his team for Blake and Justin? One of them, they didn't use all the means that clearly is out here, because that's some power to get the internet scrubbed.
Yeah.
Again, another lawsuit, have to let the justice system play out as it needs to, and see what happens. That for years have heard stories about Will Smith's sexuality, about the stuff him and Jada get into, like so much tabloid fodder between the two of them. So at this point, we'll have to let the chips fall where they may. At least he's not alleging there was actual abuse, which is a departure from the first story.
Exactly. You have to Google Will Smith lawsuit to get any news on it. But if you just do Will Smith, no.
Interesting.
That is power.
Yep. All right. Let's move on to Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars, after a decade, is finally releasing new music as a solo artist. I have been eagerly anticipating this since 2016's 24 Karat Magic. I loved that album. I loved that tour. I went and saw him in Louisville, Kentucky at the KFC Yum Yum Center.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see him on tour for that album, but that was such a fun album.
It was fantastic. And my guy can put on a show, let me tell y'all. So the name of this new album is going to be The Romantic. Release date February 27, 2026. The first single is already out, though. I haven't watched the video. It's called I Just Might, but I did listen to the track. Have you heard it?
Yes, I have. It's giving commercial music. Like it's going to be everywhere before you know it. I mean, I watched the Golden Globes, a good portion of it. They were playing it, out. Like it's very much, it's on the nose.
I listened to it on my Google Home in my living room, and I didn't feel anything in particular for it. It kind of reminds me of like when Beyonce released Who Run the World Girls. I remember not being like excited or impressed by that track. I was like, meh.
You are not alone. You are not alone. I was like, what are we doing? And then you had to play a million times for it to be like, okay.
But it's just like, just give me the album. Because again, I love 24 Karat Magic, but there were definitely a couple like throwaway tracks for me. You know what I mean? And so like, just give me the album. I know it's only going to be 9 songs on the album because he likes to keep
really
it
good
concise.
For that.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever done more than 10 tracks.
No.
On an album.
Don't get me wrong. He has been booked and busy. I mean, okay, Silk Sonic, and then all his features with Rose and Gaga and Sexy Red. Like, yeah, I love how strategic he is when it comes to that. And they're all hits. Like,
I mean, no one's saying Bruno's been lazy out here. I've just been waiting on my guy to have another solo record.
Yeah,
so
his
tour stop, his first tour stop is going to be in Vegas, and some of his opening acts will be Anderson .Paak,
insane,
Victoria Monet,
Ray.
Leon Thomas, Ray. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a tour. Are you getting tickets?
Got them.
For what city?
Columbus.
Okay.
So going with Concert Bay, shout out Donnie. We were like, if we're gonna do floor seats, we might as well just do Detroit or Columbus. Because I'm not flying out to Vegas to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you don't have to be there for opening night. It's not that deep.
But that roster, so good. I'm gonna tell you this. So we actually originally got Ray tickets, and so we're gonna like cancel that. So we could go to this one.
Well, I mean, you do kind of like kill 3 birds. You get to see Victoria. You get to see Ray.
I know.
I mean,
I'm like, Ray, why you do this? But I know why she wanted to get on the tour. I get it. More exposure, but
Yeah. Hopefully, are all the opening acts going to be at all of the shows?
Oh, I don't know. Because
that'd be the only caveat is like,
dang. It would be, yeah. But either way, I feel like this is more bang for the buck.
Yeah. Well, you were on top of it. I don't think I'm going to end up making it to this tour. Y'all know I love to go to at least one concert a year, but I was really, I've seen Bruno, would love to see like Victoria, but I was kind of leaning towards going to the Boys to Men New Edition
Tony Braxton
tour.
Yeah.
I need to look at those tickets again because I've seen New Edition, but I have not seen Boys to Men, who I love.
Yeah, we saw New Edition. Shout out Essence Fest. Olivia Dean is also on my list. I want to see her too.
I want to see Olivia just for the simple fact that she went hard for the fans, and I really appreciate it with her tour pricing for the tickets.
She did,
and I appreciate that.
For me, I don't think I've been to a concert in like 2 years. The last concert I went to was Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a minute.
I mean, it ain't like we ain't shelling out coins for these tickets and these tours. So a 2-year stop makes sense.
Exactly.
Especially because you got some big trips you're trying to take. So
girl, yes.
Am I going to spend $1,000 and drop on some concert tickets for a couple hours? Or am I going to spend a couple $1,000 and go on a trip? So priorities, but
exactly.
I have no doubt this is going to be amazing. The tour runs from April to October this year in North America, Europe, and the UK. So Bruno going to be busy. I have to say too, I don't know if it's because Bruno is like small and cute, but his energy,
compact,
like everybody's getting older, but his energy still that I see when he performs and stuff has not waned at all in the years I've been watching him. I mean, a little sniff will do it, I guess, for you. How about on that stage?
We've been following Bruno from day one, and I will never forget how quickly he got in trouble in Vegas with the white stuff, and how quickly his management cleaned that mess up. And
everybody has their vices, Laura. He just likes a little Coke. I love Coke too. It's just Coca-Cola, It
was so funny because when I saw him in concert, and this is another reason why we're going to, because the last time we saw him in concert was You Made Me Feel Like I've Been Locked Out of Heaven, like forever ago. So he was on the rise. He hadn't done his first.
He had the pompadour or whatever you call that hair.
No, this was his 70s sweaty era, but he hadn't done his Super Bowl yet. And
not his 70s sweaty era.
Dancing, singing, playing the drums, guitar. Like it was an experience. And so I'm excited to see him again.
I think that's another reason why the single didn't move me, because I thought every album was an opportunity to cross
another genre. Or yeah.
Because like the last one was like, 80s.
90s. Yeah.
To early 90s or R&B. Mm-hmm. It was because
you had the new Jack Swing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is kind of going back to the Silk Sonic moment.
Yeah, and that's not what I want. No. I want 90s. I wanted a 90s or early 2000s sound. That's what I was looking for this next album.
Fun. Who knows? He might actually switch it up. There's 9 songs. Maybe he's doing.
Well, I feel like the romantic could be the 90s, because like 90s R&B was breaking it down. You had
our generation where people
in the rain.
Yeah.
So
it's unfortunately the era that we grew up in, where love songs weren't love songs anymore. They were talking about eating groceries. You know what I mean? Like.
The fact that Jhené Aiko in the years since has talked about how she doesn't even like that. And I'm like, how you going to put that on wax like this then? You moved a whole generation to think this ish was cute. It's not. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about eating booty. Let's move on to the Scotts divorce. Maybe there should have been more of that in this marriage. Who knows? So the Scotts. The Scotts. This is the first time we've really delved into the world of social media influencers to this extent, because usually I could give $2 about the world of celebrity and like influence culture, right? Social media influence
and
culture.
Are they celebrities?
I mean, one could argue Christy has infiltrated celebrity circles at this point. Like she's
done Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah,
she's done premieres.
She out here.
She out here.
So they made their living as Christy and Desmond. They've made their living off of being, popular on social media. They have millions of followers on social as a couple, and then separate. They also have their own content. Desmond's a chef. He does a lot in that space. And then Christy, like she does some comedy, influence, fashion, a lot of stuff.
Right.
And so out of the blue, on the blogs and everything started blowing up of them, Christy filing for divorce after 11 years of marriage, citing infidelity. And at first I remember seeing like people commenting like, oh no, this isn't true. I'll believe it when I see it, And then slowly but surely the major publications started picking it up. And it was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I guess it's real. These kids met at 14.
Very young.
And like, I think broke up for a little bit, got back together, got married, have 2 sons, had just built this beautiful home.
Gorgeous. I'm like, social media money, what?
Girl. And it felt like this blindsided their actual fans. Again, I'm on the periphery. I know of them, but I wouldn't call myself a fan.
Exactly. I knew she was the pretty girl who acts silly in some heels, who do like the flips, and her husband gives this fake ass laugh. And I know him as the guy who makes food for his wife. Like,
I think the first time I really paid attention was a video popped up for me, and because I'm a Chipotle lover, of like him making at home Chipotle bowls for everybody. And I was like, oh, love that. And then slowly but surely, as it does with the algorithm, just more and more stuff started showing up for them. And I was like, okay, I'm low-key invested. The successful, cute little super light-skinned black couple. Y'all do y'all thing out here.
This is very rare that you see 2 light brights together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lighten up rooms and dark rooms. So I think the biggest thing that stood out with this situation was that Christy actually cited infidelity in her filing. Most people cite like irreconcilable differences. Yeah. So it was like, oh shit, is this about to be messy? And so Desmond has come out with a statement basically saying like, yo, listen, I want to apologize to Christy and my family that this has gotten to where it's gotten. But to be clear, basically is what he said. I had asked Christy to separate. Like, we had been trying to work on this marriage. It wasn't working. I said, I wanted a separation. And in that time, baby, some stuff happened. I told her about it. It was clear. And now we about to get a divorce. So thank you for the support. Please let us be and heal and which is not going to happen. Y'all are public figures. But I feel like he tried to just share his side of the story, which is, I'm not just a piece of shit, y'all. I didn't just cheat on my wife out the blue. I was ready to end the marriage, and in that conversation and time, I started stepping out or doing things with somebody else. So did this change anything for you in terms of the perception of what happened with them in their divorce? I feel like for me, I don't vilify Desmond the way some people in the comments are. It's like, first of all, this isn't my marriage. I don't care. But second of all, like, divorce and divorce proceedings are murky. Some people, when they separate, they do feel like, all right, I said I was done.
You want to do?
Yeah. So is it infidelity? Yeah. Is it? Do you think Desmond is going to be able to bounce back from this? Some people think she cited, infidelity to protect her assets, because when it comes down to division of assets, yeah.
I hate to see this for this young black couple, and I am biased towards the woman in situations like these. being together since 14 years old is a long time. A long time. And sometimes people aren't able to grow with each other in that time. And so, you know, I'm surprised it's getting this much attention. These are literally online people. I mean, again, she's gorgeous. Again, like you said, she's crossed over. I get it. I just also feel like, is this a slow news?
I don't think so. I think people genuinely had invested, and it was a lot of Black people that had genuinely invested in them.
That's the part where I'm like, the women are in his section talking about, oh my goodness, like pretty much like you can cry on my shoulder kind of deal. And I'm like, y'all are gross. Sis said infidelity and y'all patting him on the back like, oh, I saw this one comment was like, she didn't know how to cook anyway. I'm like, are people really stuck on these?
This man is a chef. I don't think he's going to be upset that his wife ain't cooking meals for him.
You know what? It's almost like a revelation. Like, y'all, I almost want a PSA. Like, people marry who they want to marry. I know plenty of women who don't know how to cook, who don't know how to clean, and got a man. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Like,
because because men are going to cheat on you regardless if they going to cheat on you.
Listen, and then even to that point, sis is gorgeous, and it's like, you know, you're fed. If you look like J-Lo, if you look like Halle, if you look like Beyonce, the guy won't cheat on you. We all know that's a lie.
Every beautiful woman has been cheated on. Let's be for real. And this marriage and this relationship, again, we saw glimpses of the picture perfect version of that, right? The curated content that they wanted to put out to us. We don't know nothing about these people or their marriage, but I will say, if people invest in the Kardashians and care about them, then good for these Black kids that people care and have invested in them as well.
Sure.
Why not? Hey, at least they got some talent out here. He can cook and
that's true. That is true.
You know, do y'all think?
What this one content creator, I loved that what he said. He was like, oh, the market's saturated. The market this, the market that. He's like, you're Black. It does not apply to you. You're Black. We're 13% of this country. Like, there's nothing oversaturated. Like, do you make the content? And I was like, preach, brother.
And make that money. Make that money. So with that in mind, I hope that they individually are able to continue to be very successful and get this money. And whatever happens within their relationship, do y'all thing. I don't think either of them will have a hard time because they're both beautiful. So
exactly.
Live and let live. And maybe they just need to go sow their oats and then they'll come back together. Because again, they've been together a long time. Sometimes you just need some strange.
Well, that's what I was wondering. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say they're not going to come back together, like, later on?
Mm-hmm. And everybody in the comments who talking shit or have any opinions, it's not going to matter. So, all right. Well, we talked about some Black mess. Let's talk about some white mess. Girl, I was never a fan of High School Musical to invest in the cast. So Ashley Tisdale was never a celebrity that I had a lot of feelings about necessarily, especially I mean, you had the Zach and the Vanessas and, you know, I knew Corbin and whatever, but Ashley probably the least of which. And yet somehow she's involved in a crazy Hollywood toxic mom group drama right now. I'm referencing an article from USA Today. Apparently, Ashley Tisdale decided to come out with an essay a couple weeks ago in The Cut describing her exodus from what she characterized as a mom group with toxic bullying tendencies. This was on the Humble Brag podcast. Some of the members of this mom group, Hillary Duff, Mandy Moore.
Very, Very famous chicas. Okay.
Meghan Trainor. Okay.
Yep.
Hillary Duff's husband wasn't playing that shit.
He was like, not about my wife. Not on this. Nope. Not on mine. Why?
He came out with like a version of her cover and everything, and basically said, when you're the most self-obsessed, tone-deaf person on earth, other moms tend to shift focus to their actual toddlers. Mandy Moore has not spoken about this. Meghan Trainor went on TikTok and did a video saying, me finding out about the parent mom group drama, still don't care.
Yeah. She used her song to pretty much say, okay, on to the next. I think it's interesting.
Is weird. This is weird.
Very. So I'm like, one or two things can be true. These women are actually that awful that they draw attention to themselves yet again to say, yeah, we didn't want her, you're not allowed to sit with us, kind of deal. Or Ashley Tisdale, she is the drama. You know what I mean?
Apparently she was kind of backed up a little bit by Crystal Minkoff, who went on her podcast. She's a member of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she says she had experience also with the toxic mom group and that she found it really interesting.
Well, it is kind of crappy if you're on like a group text and then you find out people are doing their own things. But I think it is even worse when it's like, oh, your entire group text is doing their own thing without you. You know what I mean? That's what she claims was like the final straw, them doing some type of holiday picture without her. And I was like, yeah, that would be crappy. But what I found as an adult is we don't really grow out of high school. You know what I mean? There are cliques that remains until the old folks home. Like, you know what I mean? So
people always are gonna people. Let me clarify. When I said it was weird to me, I don't mean it's weird that this could happen. I mean, it's weird that you put an article out in a major publication talking about it. Like, who is this relevant to other than to just like throw shade at these other Hollywood women? Because is she expecting like maybe other moms would be like, oh, I can relate. I've had that experience too in my mom group. Like, what was the point and purpose? And don't you have other things to focus on? I think that's why I said it was weird, because it was like, you really did an article and had a podcast conversation about this mom group to do what exactly? Like, I think go where you're celebrated is a thing. Yeah. So if you didn't feel like you were getting what you needed from this group, or they weren't feeling you, then it's probably best that y'all separate and continue on with your other friends and whoever else is in your family, whoever. Like,
absolutely.
At your big age, isn't she our age?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, let this shit go. Let it go. This should not be a headline to this extent. Keep it moving, in my opinion. But that's just me. Our last headline to talk about today is Euphoria Season 3 trailer. It dropped as of the day that we're recording. Sorry for people watching the video, by the way. My internet is janky today, my Wi-Fi. But Euphoria Season 3 trailer has dropped. We finally get a full look at where these crazy kids have been in this 5-year time jump. I have to say, what disappoints me is not some of the comments I've seen about, oh, it looks like it's a different show and all this stuff. They have to grow up. What disappoints me is that everybody is exactly where the fuck I thought they would be. Like, what disappoints me is I see no growth. I see no change. I see
What's the time jump? Is it supposed to be 3 or 5 years?
5 years from high school. And like, nobody defied my expectations, at least based off of the trailer. That's what disappointed me. I was like, so all y'all really just did like a heightened version of what you were already doing.
Yeah. No growth as people. That's right.
Yes.
For me, well, that's because, I'm glad they addressed the Rue money thing, because that's what I've been screaming about since the last season.
You're not gonna get away with stealing from drug dealers?
Period. Like, is she just like riding her bike? Like everything is fine. Like, no, not everything's okay. So yeah. I don't know. I'm not that excited, Ashley. Like, I will watch it just to have the conclusion. But Euphoria is a stressful watch. And
yes. Yes.
Real life is stressful enough. Like, you know, we kind of talked about this in the past. Scandal was such a phenomenon, like so much so that my baby coworkers are like watching it, you know, on streaming and getting into it. And they're like, it's so good. I'm like, you had to be there when it was live and there was social media, Twitter, and all the reactions, because it was a time to be alive. And when it ended right at the end of Obama's administration before Trump. And I was like, you know what? This is perfect, because I don't think I would have been able to handle the high stakes of Olivia and when the stakes were already high in real life. And so, you know, we'll see. We'll see when Euphoria actually comes out. Because watching Zendaya in that state, I get no joy. I mean, I love her. She is talented. She has done her thing in this role. And I'm glad she's going to be an adult now. Because again, I think that was part of the emotional toll of her, her being in this role in high school.
They were just children. I said, if this is all that people go through in high school, like, what is left? What do you have left for adulthood? Like, you've been through it.
Because we talked about this before too, and I think it's worth mentioning. It's like, you know, shout out to A Different World. That is the closest thing to my college experience that I could think of in media, because Euphoria, obviously no for high school, and then Grownish, I wasn't popping pills doing work. I was a dare kid. No.
Correct. I will say too, like I'm definitely gonna watch. Comes back in April. I'll be seated. But Fez, the element of Fez being gone and not having that resolution on that story too, because the actual actor in real life unfortunately passed away, also hangs heavy over this for me. Like, him and Lexi were so cute, and I really saw that blossoming, and I was hoping he was going to survive the shootout that happened at the end of the last season. And so just that weighs a little bit over the characters and over what's going to happen. But I will definitely stick with this third season and see, if nothing else, the Nate, what's her name? Sydney Sweeney's character storyline. This hot mess, dumpster fire of a relationship. Like, they have to give me some like satisfaction at the end. Like, I need some justice for what she did to her best friend, and like, I need some justice in the show for what happened with that. And yeah, I mean, I know Sam relates the most to Zendaya's character, but I would like to see some additional character development from the other folks too. So we'll see. April. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move on to our hot topics. Award season is in full swing. Before the holidays, we talked about some of the nominations, and we have 2 award shows that have come and gone since we've been away. The first one was the Critics' Choice Awards that I'll just talk about briefly. I'm looking at The Hollywood Reporter. One Battle After Another was named Best Picture at the Critics' Choice Award. Paul Thomas Anderson nabbed Best Director honors for his film. Sinners nabbed 4 awards, including the trophy for Best Casting and Ensemble, which was a new category. Miles Canton was named Best Young Actor. Ryan Coogler won Best Original Screenplay, and Ludwig Göransson won Best Score. In acting categories,
one of my favorite composers.
Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor for Marty Supreme. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamnet. Jacob Elordi won Best Supporting Actor for Frankenstein, and Amy Madigan won Best Supporting Actress for Weapons. In limited series, Sarah Snook won for All Her Fault. Aaron Doherty, Stephen Graham, and Owen Cooper of Adolescence also won for Best Limited Series. Jimmy Kimmel was named Best Talk Show. Drama, we had The Pit, Severance, and Pluribus that took home awards. Studio won Best Comedy Series. Jean Smart continues to reign supreme for Hacks.
Yes, she
Janelle
is.
James.
This her final season, or are they still going?
They're still going. Janelle James took home the award for Abbott Elementary, which was exciting for her.
I love that.
Golden won from K-pop Demon Hunters for Best Song.
Yes, it did.
And the movie won Best Animated Feature. And Chelsea Handler was the host. Any other standout performances or moments for you from the Critics' Choice Awards?
So what I will say about the Critics' Choice Awards, and this is something that I was hoping would not be true, was whether or not it was going to be an indicator of what this awards season was going to look like, in regards of how the industry was going to treat sinners. More specifically, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, and then Best Picture as a whole. And when I saw that it's one battle after another for Best Picture, and then Timothée Chalamet winning Best Actor, I was like, so this is how it's going to be. I was like, please don't let this be the standard. Let this be like a one-off. You know what I mean?
Yes, I absolutely know what you mean. And I was just disappointed as everybody else that Michael B. is not getting the awards that I feel he absolutely deserved.
He played
for his turn in Sinners.
2 people.
Well, arguably, as people have said, he played 3 characters.
3. Yes. Yeah. The twins and then Vampire Stack.
Mm-hmm. And his girls are both pregnant. He was busy.
Woomy, gorgeous in that yellow. We'll get there, but go ahead, Ashley. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to say I have not seen Marty Supreme, so I cannot judge Timotei's actual performance. But I will say, just
nobody's watching the movie, so you're not.
That's what I was gonna say. Off the hype, off the box office bang of Sinners, it's disappointing if nothing else, because if it was the inverse, we know what would be happening. Michael B. would not be like, oh, well, he had the better indie performance and da-da-da. No, that wouldn't be happening. And also, I love Timothée Chalamet as an actor. I have enjoyed so many things he's done, but y'all are making me not like him right now.
It's creeping on me a little bit. And I'm like, I don't want to be a hater, because, you know, he has been so good for so long. And I'm like, you know how Hollywood is? They love you and then they hate you type of deal, right? They love to hate you, right? They love you, then they love to hate you. But what's not working for me is he's being held as the standard when he's not really delivering on the actual box office aspect of being a movie star. Now, is he doing an excellent job in these roles? Yeah, but he's not raking in the cash. You know, Dune is an existing IP that people are excited about, but everything else.
Well, I think that was the conversation too, of at least I've heard on these internets, is, you know, Timothée, he has these big franchises behind him, just like people argue that Michael B. Jordan has. Sinners was original IP and it still did huge numbers at the box office. Yes. Timothée has not necessarily had that yet, but none of that really is what bothers me about Timothée right now. What's bothering me is it's like a trifecta cluster of the Kylie factor.
Yes.
The arrogance that he's begun to show off screen.
Yes.
And then the cosplay blackness that comes into some of his interviews and interactions and stuff. And maybe this is just truly who that man is. And I don't want to judge him for that, because I'm sure if I met him, he's lovely and I would like him and whatever. But you put that up against a person like Michael B. Jordan, who I really feel is deserving of some recognition right now, and you're really rubbing me the wrong way.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you said that, because I was going for the Kylie thing too. Honestly, it's given Leo, right? Like you take him serious until you realize like he takes nothing serious, like girlfriends.
But it's not even Leo for me, because at least Leo was a movie star in an era when people shut their mouths more. Be quiet.
Because one of the jokes that Nikki Glazer had at the Golden Globes is like, he hasn't done a real interview since the 90s.
And good for him. And good for him. Be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like y'all more for the most part, unless you're the Jennifer Lawrences of the world, who you are and you let that flag fly. Right. We like y'all more when y'all are concise and quiet. Because y'all are characters. Y'all are actors.
Right.
Let the work speak.
Vessels for the art.
Go home. Do y'all thing. So, all right. Let's move on to the Globes. We had the Golden Globes that just happened over the weekend. And you talk about, again, an indicator of the award season. Globes usually that strong indicator of how these Oscars are going to go.
It is.
Nikki Glazer came back as the host. The most film nominations, one battle after another, left with Best Comedic Film, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Tiana Taylor was recognized as Best Female Actor in a Supporting Role. That was my highlight that I caught from the clips.
And let me say this. I'm so proud of her. I think, speaking of resiliency, this woman has been in the industry since she was like 15 years old. She has gone through cycles. I remember the disappointment when she was signed to Kanye and he just fucked up her album with a rush production job. You know what I mean? And she had to release herself from that. And mind you, that was after she released herself from Pharrell. And I'm like, is she going to ever sing again? And so for her to have such a comeback with like being nominated for the Grammys and being a part of this this particular movie that's getting all this acknowledgement, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Oh, we didn't even talk about the fact that her and Lion King Bay ain't even together anymore.
I had it originally on the list, and I was like, it feels like old news, especially because she's on such a tear right now.
Yes, but I almost wonder. I'm like, was it? You know what it's like.
I hope not, Laura. I hope not. I know what you're gonna say. Hopefully, that man his ego did not get in the way.
Well, I was going to say it was because this award season was ramping up. It's either they both just didn't have time for one another, or because Sis is also in culinary school. You know what I mean? He's also, doing his projects, Future Green Lantern, all that. I just wonder if it just...
Yeah, it could be
booked and busy.
And she has 2 kids. I mean, she's a working mom, like priority wise. He probably wasn't number 1, number 2, or even number 3. So, things may have happened, but I don't know. Even if we're not together, hopefully I can still what you doing?
Congratulations.
No. What are you up to? I just landed. Where are you? Can I come see you? That's what I'm talking about. Don't want to
increase your numbers. Is this what I'm hearing?
Not even. Who cares? Like, he's just fine. Like, can I keep my number in your phone is all I'm saying. Like, let's not end on bad terms, baby. Because if I see you, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. So, Hamnet took home top dramatic film. It starred Jessie Buckley, won Best Female Actor in a Drama. The TV winners, according to, I'm reading an article from HuffPost, largely mirrored the Emmy Awards, limited series Adolescents, Comedy The Studio, and The Pit all shined. As we predicted, Amy Poehler's Good Hang podcast won the Globe
So
for
happy
Best
for
Podcast.
But let's keep it
First
real.
annual.
First of all, this is not surprising because Hollywood is all about relationships. She has a long-standing relationship with the Globes.
Yes.
Like, if she was not going to win, she deserved it. Don't get me wrong. But if she wasn't going to win it, I was like, something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, something is wrong.
People tried to point out that there were no like right-leaning podcasts that were nominated, which fair. You have the Joe Rogans and those are super popular. They weren't nominated. But let me also say there were no podcasts nominated by people of color.
No. And, yes,
if y'all want to talk
right-wing podcasters, but the owner of freaking all the industry media and Golden Globes is the son of a major Trump supporter. Like, the father just got like a random citizen award from Trump. Like, you don't have to throw the ball very far to hit a right.
Yeah, we not 6 degrees of separation whatsoever at this point. Well, not that we ever were. Let's be for real. Not that we ever were. But any like standout winners for you from the Globes outside of Tiana Taylor?
The Globes. So I wasn't going to watch the Golden Globes, but then I was like, yeah, why not? And Nikki Glaser did a really great job. She kind of went in on Sean Penn, talking about everybody is, trying to stay youthful and you're fine looking like an old leather bag. I was like, sis. You see him here? His suntan. I was like, is he okay? Like, is he gonna be okay?
I'm sure he's fine.
But she did really well. And so I was excited for, the new award where they're actually rewarding box office talent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Barbie was the first, I think, recipient of it. And of course, Sinners won. And I knew that was probably going to be the only award Sinners won in terms of, unfortunately, I was holding my breath for, again, Michael B. and Ryan Coogler. I think it's interesting because people are like, white people weren't centered in that story. So this award season, people don't know what to do like with it. And I'm like, y'all.
I'm also, it just feels like the same old trope of, we can always get the soup, like I'm trying to put two words together at once, the periphery awards. Like, we can't get the actor, actress, picture, a director, like, except for Moonlight. Where are these awards for
you
us?
Also got to remember, spoiler, at the end of Sinners, he was killing up some KKK members, right? I've never, like I said, I ain't never seen nobody go ham on white people like that since Django Unchained. And that was written by a white man. Denzel was supposed to win for Malcolm X. He did not.
Yes.
He won when he was a crooked cop.
And Halle won when she was spreading her legs for Billy Bob Thornton.
That movie isn't even a good movie. So when I remember seeing it and I'm like, I'm glad she won, but this is what we want. What Love got to do with it was just how many years ago? Stellar performance, overcoming the odds, real life story. Anyway. So anyway, I'm glad they got some acknowledgement in this mess. And then my babies, K-pop Demon Hunters, best animated movie, best song. I don't even feel bad that Sinners didn't win best song. Sorry. But Golden is it was so special this last year that I was just extremely happy. And EJ's speech, I teared up when she said rejection is redirection. I was like, God bless this young lady. And then my new faves, Connor and Hudson, making their way, presenting an award. So we'll get into that later, but that was fun. I was happy to see them in that space.
People are eating them up, literally.
I am people.
All right, our final hot topic, if my computer will cooperate, is the NAACP Image Award nominations. All right, I am referencing Billboard with the full list of nominees for the 2026 NAACP Image Awards. Cynthia Erivo, Doechii, Kendrick Lamar, Michael B. Jordan, and Tiana Taylor will vie for Entertainer of the Year. This will be broadcast February 28th. Kendrick received 6 nominations in the music recording categories. Well, guys, apologies, technical difficulties. Please feel free to look this up. Delora, on your end, any standout nominations for the awards this year?
Standout nominations. I mean, it's always a good time at the NAACP. You know what I mean? Like,
great time to be Black.
It really is. Like, if you want to be acknowledged, we make sure you are acknowledged. Okay. Honestly, I'm always excited about the literary side of things. And so Lionel Richie wrote a book. I didn't know this, by the way, but he's nominated along with Michelle Obama's lookbook and former Vice President Kamala Harris, 107 Days, which, as you all know, I read, and it was tea. She could have given us more tea, but it was still good to get like the behind the curtain experience of like running a presidential campaign in such a short time period. So I'm also excited for some of the social media people. One of my favorite political commentators, Black man, what is his name? Ross. He's like a statistical political person. Like he's like, Facts Matters. He got nominated for NAACP awards. My girl from Percy Jackson, Leah Jeffries.
She's so big now.
I'm so happy for her. We're currently actually as a family watching Percy Jackson season 2 together, and it brings me so much joy to see a Black girl in this space. And she's so great at it. So yeah.
Well, I finally got my computer working a little bit, so I did want to just look at the podcast nominations this year. Outstanding podcast news and information. Shout out to Native Land Pod.
Yay!
Getting nominated.
First of all, why did she leave?
Tiffany must have some things up her sleeve. In the lifestyle self-help, I see IMO with Michelle and Craig nominated. Congratulations. Society
I think it's so
Culture.
funny that she sits up and interviews people. I'm like, you're Michelle Obama.
Yeah, she could be doing just about anything. She could be happily retired, but I love it because she gets to spend time with her brother and also talk to people that she wants to. I mean, she's living her best life. Let's just say that.
Yes. Okay. Das Discourse is his name. Das.Discourse is nominated for NAACP. So super, super proud of him.
Nice. Society and Culture. We got Baby, This is Keke Palmer. We got Higher Learning with Van and Rachel. IMO with Michelle and Craig again. Don Lemon Show. And then What Now with Trevor. Dang, they nominated Michelle and Craig just about every category. They went in, they taking home something. They said we coming away with something. Reliving Single, congratulations. Sean Stockman's On That Note, congratulations. Politics with Jamel Hill. This is some good competition. We'll see what happens. Shout out to the podcasters.
Always. All
right. Well, that'll do it. I know we went a little long today, but we had been gone for a little bit, so we had to give y'all a full episode today. So we'll wrap it up there with our headlines and hot topics. Thank you so much for sticking with us for it. Give us your thoughts on any topic that we discussed. We'd love to hear from you. Laura, what are we recapping for next week?
All the things you said, all your things are said, everything in my head. We are recapping the fever pitch, the heated rivalry of it all. You know what I mean? So we are going to talk about Shane and Ilya. We're going to go to Canada. Okay. We're going to go to Boston. Yeah. We're going to talk about how I did not like this show at first, and then I became obsessed. So we're going to talk about that journey.
It is a phenomenon of a television show.
It is. It's on HBO, sure. Y'all. Or Crave, if you're in Canada. Shout out to Crave for being the original.
There you go.
HBO is the distributor.
Is Crave what Schitt's Creek was on? I can't remember.
Yes.
Schitt's Creek. Okay.
Well, no. Schitt's Creek was on Pop, I think.
Okay. I was like, I know it wasn't originally like Netflix or anything like that. It was a different distributor at first. Okay.
Canadian.
All right. Well, again, guys, thanks for sticking with us for this episode. Stick with us for next week to get into allegedly hockey for Heated Rivalry. We
One
look
of my
forward
favorite
to it.
Tweets was like, I came in for this hockey show and I left not really knowing much more about.
Couldn't tell you a thing additionally about hockey. Not a thing. Guys, we look forward to chatting. We'll be back. Please share this episode out with everybody you know. We so appreciate it. In the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.